Hi, Demetrius Malbro, Cloud Advocate here, and I am joined by Ryan Bahill, Kubernetes Resiliency Expert. Ryan, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So we have this nice diagram behind us around data protection. Do you mind maybe breaking this diagram down for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big things we do at Veritas here is about data protection for Kubernetes, right? And so that's kind of what you see here is our product Veritas Net Backup does provide protection for Kubernetes, and it's providing protection for any CNCF certified Kubernetes environment, right? So what that means is you can run a backup and then a recovery of anything that you happen to be running in a Kubernetes cluster, and you can do that using that backup, and you can recover that anywhere you want. So it can actually be into an entirely different distribution of Kubernetes than where you originally ran your backup.
So I guess that's this whole distribution mobility thing. And
Exactly, yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Great. And so this is not only just on premises, there's also cloud option?
Yeah, you
right?
bet. So you could do something like, for example, run a backup of an open Kubernetes cluster on premises. You could actually do a recovery of that in the cloud somewhere, and you can go the opposite direction as well. You can run a backup in the cloud, say an AKS, GKE, that kind of thing. And then you can do a recovery in an on-premises environment. It's entirely up to you, but it's all supported and will all work pretty seamlessly.
Okay, now what about security? Because we're always hearing about, these headlines about ransomware. Maybe explain to us how secure is this and what type of security is provided with this?
Yeah, so you mentioned ransomware. That's a good one to talk about. So we actually have some interesting ransomware protection features that are built into our backup and recovery workflow, and that's just natively included with Net Backup. So there's actually nothing you really need to do to set that up or to make it work. It's just sort of there for you. And that's stuff like anomaly detection, right? So when a backup job's running, we can use our anomaly detection engine to understand if there are any kind of anomalies in that workflow that could indicate that ransomware might be present, right? So that's absolutely included as part of our solution. It's there by default.
And it sounds like the security team and the backup team can all work together in order to kind of secure the environment just in case something happens around ransomware, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, stuff like encryption as well is all supported, whether it's in-flight and at-rest encryption, and standard security measures like that are all also included within the backup workflow.
And I also hear a lot about immutable storage. Is that something as well?
Yeah, we also offer immutable storage.
Oh,
We actually offer isolated storage too, in
Okay.
something like we call an isolated recovery environment if you want to take it even one step further, right? So it's creating like a virtual air gap between your production systems and your backup copies to give you that added layer of security and protection from stuff like ransomware.
I also heard something about a red lab. Maybe, what is that?
Yeah, it's our own internal processor, a kind of method of validating that the ransomware protection features and the security features that we've implemented actually work in kind of more of a real world environment. So we test that all and essentially certify that using our own Red Labs setups to be able to say like, hey, we're very confident that this will help you from a security standpoint, protect you against ransomware, and kind of give you that added layer of confidence that it's been thoroughly tested in real world scenarios.
Okay, and so before we close out, so this is not the old Net Backup. This is something completely different, innovative, and it's cloud ready.
If you're an existing Net Backup customer, you've used it before, you'll see some familiar stuff. The ability to do granular recovery, for example, using Net Backup, and now we can apply that to Kubernetes. So what we're doing here with Kubernetes is all brand new. It's kind of the new part of Net Backup, but it has all of the same features that you've kind of come to expect if you've used Net Backup before or just are doing general data protection. So it's the very new take and new spin on like modern workloads and data protection for those workloads.
Okay, I can see clearly now, so I really appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks for spending time with us.